Happy Friday. Hello. I think I have everything working just fine. Let's see. Did it do the thing? I think it did do the thing. Okay, yep, it switched over. Okay, perfect, yep. Mic's on. Game sounds are on. I'm gonna turn them down a bit because this ambient sound is kind of loud. Perfect, okay. I hope everybody's having a fabulous day. And I know there's only like one or two people in here, but I hope you guys are having a fabulous day. And anybody watching the VOD, I hope you're having a great day too. So today, announcements. The only announcement that I have is that we have I'm going to miss all of this stream, so I hope you enjoy the ending. Oh, I'm so sorry, Buck. I'm so sorry. But you know what the silver lining is we can finally talk about it after today. So, and you can always watch the VOD to hear how emotional I get and stuff like that. So I'm so sorry that it worked out that way, this schedule wise. I would have finished last night, but it's been a very exhausting week with you know, like how the streaming as much as I was streaming and and life stuff. So but yeah, so we have the clip contest still going on. There's still only 5 submissions for the best clip contest. Basically all it is the funniest clip is going to win $15 worth of emotes or whatever it doesn't have to be emotes, it could be whatever you want from the Final Fantasy shop. Could be emotes, could be a mount if you find one that's under $15, and you know, could be Orchestron scrolls, could be dies, whatever you want. $15 worth. So, and it doesn't have to be clips from current stuff. It could be, you could go back into the VODs and find hilarious moments and clip those. That works too. Doesn't matter. Just the funniest one is the one that's going to be the winner. Now, there have been some really, really freaking funny moments. Like Rogers clipped the moment where I missed. That's all I'm going to say, where I just missed. So if somebody else happens to clip the same thing. Mia! Hey girl, hey! How are you doing? Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, raiders. It can be. It can be. Thanks so much for the raid. I very much appreciate it. How far did you end up getting?
Such devastation. This was not my intention.
This is not devastation. Oh my god, Inception. I have now raided myself too. Oh gosh. Okay, let me close that window. Not too far. How you doing in the short time that I know, literally like 20 minutes ago. I had time. So this is what I did in that 20 minutes. You ready? I ran upstairs, took a shower, threw stuff in the laundry, threw stuff in the dryer, loaded up the dishwasher, put some argan oil in my hair, lotioned up my entire body, tweeted, did a whole bunch of stuff in the Discord. I know. I know. Fed my cat, did the litter box, did like the first mop on the kitchen floor real quick. It was a shitty mop, but there was a lot of stuff, you know, like on the floor that I needed to do real quick. Yeah, in 20 minutes, I managed to do all that shit. So it was a busy 20 minutes. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, like what the fuck am I doing? I need to go stream. I forgot. I didn't forget, but you know, I just got busy. That's a military 20 minutes right there. Sure is, sure is. I was in the military. Not for long, but I was in the military. Medically discharged. Medically. But yeah. Well, then I was like, oh shit, yeah, gotta stream. So far, I've made nearly 1 million gil over just by selling materia. Damn. And here I am putting all the materia into the free company tabs. Have you guys, any of you that are in the free company, have you guys looked in the free company chest? There's like 3 tabs full of materia that I just keep dumping in there. And I've organized it so beautifully too. Like it goes like from the highest tier down to the lowest, and it's like there's at least one available of every fucking type of materia. Because I'm extra. Extra. Okay. So, for those of you that do not want spoilers, I am playing Final Fantasy XIV, obviously, and I am doing the Endwalker main story quests. I am literally beginning the tail end of the Endwalker stuff. So, if you do not want spoilers, but still want to be in here and, you know, like, chilling, whatever, and still want to like talk to me and stuff, by all means type away. Just let me know in your comment or whatever that you're muted and you don't, you know, so you don't get any spoilers. So that way I know to type to respond to you. Otherwise, if you don't care about spoilers, then, you know, obviously leave the volume on. But if you do care about spoilers, now would be the time to mute me. Do you have tissues? I have plenty of tissues. I have loads of tissues. I have a whole roll of paper towels. And I even ran out and got some like super soft aloe infused tissues. So, I also started a hormone regimen this week, just for like some of the medical stuff that I have going on. So I am super extra emotional. So I definitely, when you guys told me, because I'm already an emotional person to begin with. So when y'all told me to make sure that I have tissues and stuff, I definitely listened. I even have like Vaseline and stuff in case my nose gets sore, because it does get sore from blowing my nose all the time. So I could rub it, you know, like around my nostrils so I don't get like, you know, a paper burn. It's going to be hard to watch later. Is it? Is it? Okay, so we have, again, if you don't want spoilers, now's the time to mute me because I haven't said anything bad yet, and I'm about to. Like, literally, I'm going to click on this dude and start. Shush. Okay, so, we are at, what the fuck is the name of this zone again? Ultima Thule. We just took a flight on the Ragnarok. Fuck, I mean, no talking about it. Let it happen. Yes, let it naturally flow. Excuse me. So we are on, what was the name of the thing again? I can't. Ultima Thule. Okay. We've found where, what's her face is, Meteon, or the Metea are. Thancred is missing. We did see him, but apparently we don't remember it because we didn't say shit to the rest of the group. But we did see him be the only person to be able to like stand up and do something when she did her little whatever the hell it was she did, where she made us all basically pass out and like almost like we were, I think she was essentially like trying to kill us. But Thancred was able to do something, and it looked like he was gonna stab her or something. I don't know. It was a very like clippy, cutty type scene, and it happened so fast. So, and here we are on Ultima Thule and looking for Thancred. We're fortunate this place can support life, albeit barely, I suspect, given the torpid, stale quality of the air. Thank you for the lurk, Buck. I hope you have a great time. I don't know if you're going to watch the hockey game or like going physically to the hockey game, but I hope you have a fabulous time. But never mind that. We must find Thancred. Let's begin our search from the prow of the ship. It seems as good a direction as any. Try not to stray too far, lest we lose sight of one another. All right. Oh, I do want to share with you guys, I did get all the ether currents yesterday for all the other zones. Quicken very graciously forced me to go with him to get them all. So I have unlocked flying in all of the new zones except for obviously this one, because I didn't want to spoil stuff by running around and And getting the ether currents here for myself, so. I am going the right way, right? Yes. Yes. Please tell me you turned in the quest on another class. Yes. Yes. I did everything on, I collected and did all the, like, the unexplored stuff on my red mage, which my red mage is now, what level is she? I think she's 86. Red mage, 86. Yep. Yep. Yeah, no, I wasn't gonna waste that XP. I also did every single side quest that was available on my red mage. Every single one. Obviously, I didn't do any of the crafting ones because I don't have any crafters for that high level, but I did do every single side quest in all of the other zones. The only reason I can't fly yet in areas is because I saved it for other classes. Yep. Smart. Ruins? But what of what, I wonder? Perhaps we can find something to help us understand the nature of this place. A relic, an inscription, anything. A stellar dragon. Look at this dragon, though. Like, just look at it. Amazing fucking looking dragon. Dragging. Jesus. The metallic pillar has been partially melted, likely sometime in the distant past. Damage does not appear to have been inflicted deliberately. Rather, it calls to mind the indiscriminate destruction often wrought in the heat of battle. Ooh, there was a battle. Graha, what do you see? Look here, this part is relatively intact. The intricate design on the top suggests it's man-made, though its builders were surely not men as we conceive of them. Having said that, I swear I have seen this pattern before. Nothing to see, dragons. Nothing to see. I love my dancer's new outfit. I love it. I was kind of meh about it yesterday, but as I ran around with it more yesterday and this morning, I'm kind of falling in love with it. I thought this hill might afford a better view of our surroundings. A poor decision in hindsight. Look at all them dragons, right? Besides the light from the ship, all is shrouded in darkness. If Thancred is here, I'd never know it. From what I can tell, we are near the edge of an island, if you can call it that, surrounded by floating debris. I can't spell dragons. I didn't spell dragons sad times. You know what's funny? Is I read an article once that as long as you have the first letter correct, the second or the last letter correct, and then all the correct letters in the middle, people that read like really quickly will still read the correct word, which proven just now. That was pretty funny. All right, I think we're going back to Alphino. Yes. I miss the days of Alphino with his little carbuncle. The little black one that he had running around with him. Were you able to find anything? That's a lie. I found some melted shit, as I feared, and still no trace of Thancred. The one everyone is mad they can't get. Yes. I wish I could get the black carbuncle. There's nothing but emptiness as far as the eye can see, which unfortunately isn't very far. I would take it as like a minion. That would be acceptable for me. Though I can't help but suspect that someone or something is here. There are times when I sense it drawing close, and then a chill washes over me, leaving me exhausted. Leaving me with feelings of death and anguish. I felt it too when I was near that thing. I think I might see something over there. What are you talking about? There's nothing there. Ooh, they can't see it. They can't see the dragons. Before we jump to any conclusions, perhaps we should search elsewhere. Agreed. We found only more questions when we are in desperate need of answers. There's a fair stretch of terrain from the ship's starboard we've yet to explore. Let us try searching there, then. Creepy. I wonder if he can sense the dragons. Fire, a word before we join the others. Like, maybe he can't see them, but maybe he can sense them with his, you know, dragoonness. Oh, that was hella lag. Did you guys see that? I was able to take like 6 steps before my mount popped up. Oh, there's a hole there. Gosh darn it. Ooh, I am lagging. You basically just slide casted. Right, but it was... I did, but it was like a long... See, even I just dismounted and I'm not getting off the mount. And this dude... I'm rubber banding pretty hard. Yeah, see? That's some pretty bad lag. Maybe if I change instances... Instance 2? I don't know how to change instances, but there's a way to change instances. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Let me look at my connection. Seems good. You got to do it at the etherite. Okay, so when we get to the etherite, if I don't do it myself, somebody please remind me. You see them too, don't you? The dragons? Okay, good. So he can see them. As I thought, their presence is tenuous at best, but there's no mistaking it. No doubt your bond with Midgar Surmir and mine with Nidhogg is what allows us to perceive them. Could these apparitions be related to the dragons that now live on It's Etheris, right? Bah. Better to leave such conjecture to the others. In any case, we must be careful. We may soon find dragons they can see as well. Death and anguish. What happened to them, I wonder? So that reminds me of when this one time when for Dungeons and Dragons, I created my own like I'm just gonna run through the middle. Fuck it. Aggro me at your will. No, Etheris. I'm gonna try and remember that. Oh, look at them. They're like whitish. But I created this class, like a necromancer class, because I didn't like the ones that they already kind of had. Like you could do like a wizard and make it like a necromancer. But I created this different one where around them was like an aura, which you could see it by like the shadows. When you stepped within like 5 feet of them, there was like an extra shadow like that was around them, and it like your world got a little bit darker when you stepped near them, and it gave you the feeling of dread when you stepped that close to them. It was a really, really neat like boss type thing that I came up with. But these dragons, like just us getting near them and feelings of dread and stuff like that reminded me of that. Oh, look at the sweeping dragon.
Dragons? Here?
So she can see them.
What you see is a memory of a world that once was. A world suffering a slow death, whose denizens cried out for the release of oblivion.
What? Their world is dead?
It is. Not a single life remains upon that husk floating in the vast emptiness. These creatures are shadow and shade, perpetuated only to suffuse dynamis with their unending lamentations.
Our friend Thancred, where is he?
Like she's gonna tell us.
A strange question. He is at your side, is he not? Oh yes. He is here and there, and everywhere within this space. He would tell you himself if he had form to form words. Huh. Such loathing and uncertainty. You don't know why you still exist.
What?
In like manner to the oblivion I send. I tried to drown out your ether with dynamis.
So she was trying to drown out her
Beginning with
ether.
this Thancred, who came at me despite being unable to breathe. Such a simple thing, unmaking men. In the blinking of an eye, he was gone. Didn't even have the chance to be transformed.
Is he dead?
Yet somehow, he managed to leave a slither of himself behind. What you call the heart? Or perhaps the soul? In his final moment, he cried out from it. A single word. Survive. That wish proved stronger than the despair that ruled here. It overpowered it, causing this space to be remade.
Holy shit.
Into a place you can perceive, and where life can endure. That you draw breath is proof that his soul lives on. For how long, however, remains to be seen.
Well then, we should hurry and tend to business.
Estinien's like, let's get this fight over with.
It's futile. You will never reach the true me. I told you, emotions dictate reality in this space. Such changes as you might work will not alter in its nature. You may see, but you cannot touch. Walk, but not advance.
What does that mean?
Meteion holds too much sway here. How do we contend with a foe who can unmake us on a whim?
I do not know. But Thancred gave his life that we might come this far. We must press on.
Agreed. We cannot turn tail here. Not without something to show for our comrade's sacrifice.
So he's dead. Like dead dead. What the fuck? Soul without body, a form of being with which we are not wholly familiar. Indeed, for we existed in a similar state when residing in the first. The circumstances are rather more dire than that, 'tis true, But I choose to believe he is not forever lost to us. Yeah, I don't think he's forever lost to us either. She said like a sliver of him remained or whatever. Regardless, in sacrifice he hath afforded us a chance to prevail. Let us not squander it and ascertain the nature of this realm that we might confront and defeat Meteion. Estinien Fire, would you accompany me in speaking with these dragons? Mayhap they can enlighten us. I would ask the rest of you to survey these grounds. If there is a path that may lead us to our quarry, we must find it. Very well. We can reconvene here when everyone has finished. Meteion said that these dragons are shadow and shade from a world whose denizens sought oblivion. As such, they're not like to be amenable to company, let alone conversation. So please be careful. So what? Let us split up and gather what knowledge we may. Okay, it seems to have gotten better. Like I'm insta-mountain, like I'm supposed to. A visitor? Not of this star. Could thy slender hands bring plague to our world? Thy breath extinguish life's feeble flame? Oh, how we would adore thee, alas. With time our flesh shall wither, our souls fade, and so we wait for its inexorable march until oblivion. Yeah, if you get DC, you're not getting on. Okay. Over 8K in the queue. Well, yeah, it's Friday. I anticipate this weekend's gonna be hot garbage to try and log on to. If thou art not come to hasten our demise, I bid thee leave us. We crave not companionship, only silence. Tune to this real quick so we don't forget. There's a dragon over hither. Beyond that distant veil, paradise lost, so glorious, so beautiful. We were a proud and noble race, strength embodied. We knew only love before they came. Metal monstrosities of black and silver, no bonds of blood did they share, nor conviction did they have to guide them. A crushing defeat. Never had we known such shame. Stilled now are the winds, though none could fill these wings burdened by ignominy. We fly no more, only sink into oblivion. Jesus. I think dragons could despair. Alright, let's see here what you've got to say. Thou wouldst bid me speak? Folly. I observe the lesson of stone. I shall not fly, nor speak, nor roar. Only watch and wait and end. But one sight yet stirreth my blood. Tempteth me to raise my voice in lamentation. Amnol, the cradle of unsung dragons. No words, no songs are possessed of the weight to describe such tragedy. Go, if that be thy will, I shall remain. For the love of God. Search for the source of the dragon's woes in Amnol. And while we're doing this, just in case there happens to be one close by. Hey everyone, hey Quicken, how are you doing? This reminds me of when you first get to Orang. Does it? I'm good. Okay, how you feeling? Are you feeling normal, basically? They let you hear as well, did they? It was described to me as the source of their woes and proof of their end. I think I'm beginning to see why. It's a hatching ground, or was. I've seen similar on Aetherius. Yeah, pretty good. Can't complain. Okay, good. Midgar, sir. Jesus. I'm just gonna call him Midgar. Midgar's kind must once have lived and thrived in a place such as this. Beatrice said his father was driven from their ancestral home by war and strife. This, then, is the fate of those who remained. Let's have a look around. Maybe these eggs have more to tell of what happened here. Inside the shattered egg, you find the remains of an unborn dragon. The body has already begun to decompose. The gelatinous half-dried membrane covering the corpse suggests it failed to emerge. Oh no. A murky liquid has pooled inside this eggshell. The noxious photor is indicative of contamination. Oh, these babies didn't even have a chance. Gingery lifting a large egg from the viscous mire. You peer inside and see a formless mass soaking in a pool of embryonic fluid. Your stomach turns as you return the egg to its resting place. This egg appears to have been broken from the inside out. Perhaps the dragon within succeeded in hatching. That's good news. What's this? I thought all the eggs had been ruined. Not this one! If the dragonette was indeed hatched, there is no sign of it here, or its sire for that matter. We should look for them. You start with the cliff tops, and I'll search the plains. Oh god, ball sacks. Okay. That's so sad. I mean, that's life, but that's so sad. Like, bereaved dragon. Malformed dragonette. Oh, it's fucked up. Is this Mama Dragon? The boisterous howling hath been quieted. By thy hand, I presume. Everything all right? I thought I heard a dragon or something resembling one. I just killed a baby dragon. I see what's happened here. Was that your child? Perhaps. Some eggs within Omnol are indeed mine. If life within one did quicken, the best thou hast slain may be of my blood. Oh, the beast thou hast slain may be of my blood. Yet I do not recognize it, twisted and malformed as it is. Not a dragon in truth, but a reminder of our failure, a testament to our shame. Explain. They descended from the heavens, cold, heartless machines, and with them rode war and death. With fire and fury, rage and rancor, we gave answer. It was a long and bloody battle, but only the beginning. Untold chaos and destruction swept over the star. In the end, the invaders were victorious. Yet, when they looked upon their prize, they deemed it unfit for requisition. We were abandoned to our ruin. The survivors sought to put away their shame, to rebuild. A futile effort. In purest soil replete with ether did we once cultivate our nesting grounds, but our lands were barren, and any eggs nurtured in such desolation were fated to rot. Oh my god, I just noticed it's a dead baby dragon right there. What few survive to hatch emerge as abominations. We shall have no new progeny. But there are dragons among you capable of journeying to other stars. That there are. Many would make the attempt, each bearing a clutch of eggs. The richest stars were home to the harshest rulers, and the arrival of dragons incited contests for supremacy. When the fires faded, the wars lost and won, they too were reduced to ash and waste. 'Tis the curse of those who seek life, to be drawn into conflict, to conquer or be conquered. A vicious cycle we now choose to break. We tire of conflict, of everything. We wait now in sweet, merciful silence, free from strife and suffering, still as stone. Wait, you claim your kind is doomed, but there is another star. You gonna finish that thought, Estinien? Like, goddamn. They want only to brood in silence, to be left alone with their grief until time itself comes to an end. The sole reward for senseless bloodshed, a pain I understand and wish that I did not. What fools we were. But now isn't the time for such thoughts. The others will want to hear what we've learned. Come. I'm just gonna go ahead and, you know. That's a long run. Were you able to establish any meaningful contact with the dragons? I see. They wish to escape what they perceive to be a cycle of conflict. Thank you, Fire, Estinien. As for our part, I believe we are more acutely aware of our Jesus, Fire, come on, get your mouth together. I believe we are more acutely aware of our confines than before. We started by traversing the perimeter of the island to see if there might be a path leading off of it. Sadly, there was nothing to be found. There's no small amount of debris floating about. Could there be enough to serve as a bridge to lead us elsewhere? I considered that, and so I tried throwing a stone into a potential onto a potential platform to judge its integrity. But it never reached its mark. As it crossed an invisible threshold just beyond the boundaries of the island, it vanished, only to reappear above me and fall at my feet. I would not be too quick to presume that what we see outside this space is as it appears. Which is why I returned to the Ragnarok and asked the Loporrits to search for a potential path. However, the ship's instruments failed to provide conclusive data on the surrounding area. Until we know more, I think it too risky to attempt flying to another island. What Meteion told us before, that emotions dictate reality here, might be the key, but I'm not entirely sure what emotion might manifest a bridge to lead us to safety. What you're saying is, we've no way forward. At present, if it is indeed emotion that governs this island, perhaps it is not Meteion's, but the dragons that holds us here. Ooh, that's a good idea. That's a good thought. They tire of conflict and have chosen a path of oblivion to escape it. Or rather, they have chosen no path at all, meaning there is no way for the dragons or anyone here on this island to advance. No big deal. We're just going to convince an entire race of dragons on a planet that we just met and just landed on to start giving a shit, right? Like, that's what it sounds like we're going to have to do. Sound theory, disheartening though it may be. If that is the case, what recourse do we have? They are not like to be persuaded to help us. Their reasoning is built on a history of turmoil and strife. Without irrefutable proof, the future is not as bleak as they believe it to be. Mayhap persuasion is not the answer. Metion meant to unmake us then and there on the Ragnarok, and she would have succeeded if not for Thancred's determination. She conceded it was strong enough to overpower the despair that otherwise rules Ultima Thule, and reshape it to a degree. Perhaps it can be done again in like manner, by overpowering the prevailing emotions. Was Ultima Thule's architect, Metion herself, against whom Thancred did pit himself in a clash of wills. Though I marked no leader among them, as such, I did chance to encounter a dragon possessed of despair far more potent than most. Potent enough, mayhap, to dictate the course for others, and thus their domain to follow. He spoke but few words, carefully chosen, their tone and timbre alone threatening to rend my heart in twain. Challenging his desire to remain may allow us to alter the island upon which we stand. Alas, I fear my vaunted rhetoric availed me not against his calcifying heart, but mayhap one of you will fare better. Then I shall guide thee. All end, they call him, in the dragon tongue. Thou wilt find him nearby, eyes fixed upon the water. Well, what have we got to lose? Let's get going. Estinien's got something to say. Never mind, he's got nothing to say. Never mind. I thought it was going to be this dragon looking over the water, but it's one way over here, I guess. Oh my gosh, I'm getting like slammed with yawns back to back now. I don't know why, I slept a freaking lot. Like I went to bed at 2 in the morning and I got up at 6 and then did what I had to do, like take the kiddo to school, get her ready, blah, blah, blah. And then I went back to sleep. The little Kit Kat. My cat was meowing at me like that this morning.
He remaineth as he was when I first approached, entombed in melancholy.
I see. Perhaps I could...
I'll handle this.
So, waiting to die like all the others, are you?
That's not how I would have started. Our pride is crushed and our souls corrupted. The winds are stilled and the heavens offer no comfort. There is nothing left for our kind. Our long lives a curse as we await the end. Still as stone, we shall become.
So you say. Yet your kind has found a new beginning on our star. One of you braved the expanse, bearing with him a clutch of eggs. They and their children now rule our skies, their song heard by all.
Our kin on another star? And yet, upon thee do I smell the blood of my brethren. Were they drawn into discord and war on their new home?
They were. They suffered much, and repaid their suffering in kind.
It mattereth not whither we fly. Ever will a sanguine ocean await us. Ever will retribution's wheel turn. And so, on the last of my pride as a dragon, I break free of this wheel. I renounce conflict, exile myself from the other, never again to be touched by the flames of hatred.
Had your brethren made the selfsame choice, my family might still be alive. Yet lasting peace does not come to those who simply retreat from conflict. No, you must be willing to confront it, to stare into the face of your foe, and see yourself in him. Only then can you break the cycle of torment and tragedy. This lesson, a dear friend taught me at the risk of his life. There is no nobility in your penance. You wallow in self-pity. And after everything we've endured, we will not let you stop us.
Oh, he mad. He mad. What?
Estinien! Stay back.
We tire of war. We tire of turmoil. Dignity tarnished, crimson stained. Our misery, our shame, too much to bear. Release us from war, from life.
Theirs is the emotion that bars our way. The rest is up to you.
What do you mean the rest is up to you?
No! Not Estinien too!
What the f- What was that?
There's a wind.
Oh god, Alpha, no.
He's opened the way for us. Sacrificed himself to remake this place, like Thancred did.
Oh, Alphino.
Come. Let us follow the wind.
Oh, look
It
at
will not lead us astray. He would not.
what the hell? We better freaking get them back. I refuse to believe that they're like gone for good. And so close to each other, man. They didn't even give us really a chance to deal with Thancred. Oh, a red fit now. Mm-hmm. This is the level 90 dancer gear. The shoes are not the level 90 dancer gear, but I don't like the shoes that came with the outfit. Like it? Yeah, I love it. I know you guys aren't going to answer me, those of you that know the answer, but they can't be dead. Thancred and Estinien, they're not dead. They're temporarily unavailable. Right? You had your warning, don't ask. I am going to ask, just don't answer. Just don't answer. Oh god, there's these thingies on here too. I can't not do it. Okay. They can't be dead. Like, they can't be dead. We have habitual answerers. You're right, we do. Look there, the wind. I can't be lying to you at all. All are because I know and don't play at all. Oh shit! He said this is Estinien's doing, and I didn't read the rest. I'm sorry. Shit. Powerful gale has delivered you to another island. The other scions should arrive before long. But this is why we didn't want you to go forward anymore last night. Got it. Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to stop. You're right. You guys are so good to me. I love you guys. Thank you. He did it. He found a way forward for us. The dragons remain trapped within a prison of their own making, lamenting the horrors of war. Yet Estinien knew them better than most. He was a man of honor and a dear friend, willing to fight to the very end for what he believed was right. Come on, like, y'all are doing a eulogy right now. Come on! And he's still fighting Alphino, just like Thancred. They're even playing the sad piano music! Their sacrifices are why we can survive here. Why we still have a chance to stop her. Even in spirit, they're unwilling to give in to despair. And we mustn't either. Well, it looks like you were right, Fire. Yeah, because my money was on Thancred dying. No, they're not dead. No, they're not dead. They're just temporarily unavailable. Alice is right. We must press on for their sake. I refuse to believe it. As Y'shtola and Alice said, we must continue. Notice a change in our surroundings? Perhaps this is a memory of an altogether different world. It would be prudent to learn more of it then. Tread carefully lest we lose our footing in this sand.
Hey! Listen!
No, you listen. I'm gonna go get some RC Cola. I have cherry Pepsi today. I did the Grubhub thing so I could get my pizza emote or eating pizza emote, and I ended up getting Taco Bell. Yo, they have a grilled cheese burrito. Let me fucking tell you, that shit amazing. Were it not for the violet crystal embedded in its surface, it would appear as ordinary stone. A curious script hath been etched upon them. Alas, it is not a language with which I am familiar. Wait, what? So Taco Bell has this thing called a grilled cheese burrito. Fucking amazing. From what I can tell, because when I'm trying something new, I always like really inspect my food. It looks like they took 2 tortillas, made like just a cheese quesadilla, and then didn't cut it up like a quesadilla, but then just put all the burrito stuff in there and then wrapped it up, and then they like grilled it. So it's like a grilled like a quesadilla first, and then they put all the burrito stuff in the middle, wrap it up like a burrito, and then they grilled it. It was amazing. It was amazing. I'm going to regret it later, but it was amazing. I cannot say I recognize it either. Nor I. The dragons, from what I recall, preserve their knowledge in song and issue the written word entirely. So we may assume this is the work of another race, one we have yet to encounter. Meteion claimed the dragon's world suffered a slow death, seeking the release of oblivion. What life we find here, like as not, doth wend its way towards a similar end. What do you suppose that is over there? Do they have halos? They have like little fire halos, whatever those creatures are. I'm not sure. It's hard to make out at this distance, but its surface seems to bear But its surface seems to bear the same crystals as this monument. Meaning, there's a chance we may find whoever built them both. We should go and have a look. Come on. See, we're not taking time to mourn, so I'm assuming they're not really dead. They can't be. I refuse. I refuse to believe that. They're so cute looking. A ghostly figure. Oh, look at it. Oh my god, it's adorable. Hail, travelers. This is the most unexpected occurrence. Hello there. Is this your home? Indeed it is. Ah, forgive me. I'd forgotten. An exchange of introductions is expected when first meeting those with whom one is unacquainted. What? When the vibration of vocal folds was still required to convey our thoughts and intention, Ia, I believe, was the pronunciation used when referring to our people. Though it is not entirely applicable, given our present state, you're welcome to use this appellation. As for nomenclature to address my individual person, I believe it would be pronounced Kofkug. What? Cough. We're gonna call him Cough. Excuse me. Yes, Kofkug of the Ia. I'm trying to get a screenshot without the words. We have encountered beings that communicate intermittently through thought, but never one that is wholly without a voice. I presume we are having this conversation via the medium of ether, or dynamis, as this space is suffused with vast quantities of it. Fascinating in either case. I gather your response to my presence is positive then? That is well, for there is something I wish to ask of you. Like yourselves, we Ia are ether-based life forms. Therefore, it may be surmised that your bodies are of comparable biological composition to those we once possessed. I have a number of queries regarding your subjective perception of the 5 senses: sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell. In total, I have prepared 198,712,180,827. Questions? That's rather a lot, isn't it? My apologies. I've omitted a great many details necessary to understand the nature of my request. Though we dispensed with our corporal vessels long ago, we have rediscovered a need for the flesh, and have endeavored to recreate our erstwhile forms. However, all pertinent records have been lost due to the passage of time. Take, for example, the nervous system. It is well within our power to recreate, but we have no frame of reference for sensations once experienced by our people, which may compromise our ability to interact with our physical environment. And the reason you need to regain corporal forms? Why, to bring an end to our existence, of course. What the fuck? Though need is perhaps too strong a word, it would be a simple matter to unmake ourselves through use of etheric exsanguinators, but such a death seems inadequate. The traditionalists among us believe proper death requires an inescapable sense of impermanence in one's final moments, an experience found only with bodies of flesh. Ouch. You can say exsanguinator, but you can't say machinist? Wait. Machin? I really can't. Is there some letters missing? Machinist? Well, there's no I in the ST part. You had it right, then ruined it. So is it machinist? Machinist? Did you spell it right first? Let me... Oh, you didn't spell it right. Look at it. That's why I was struggling. I can say machinist. Wait, it's machinist? Have I been saying it wrong this whole fucking time? Is it machinist? Machinist. Is this supposed to be machinist? So is it machinist or machinist? Machinist. I've been always able to say machinist. Yeah, I always said machinist. I struggle with machina. We should very much like to hear more of your plans. In exchange, we will answer any questions you have to the best of our ability. Such an exchange of information would indeed prove useful. Ishtola, though. Uh-huh. Very well. To ensure efficacious exchange... Efficacious? Exchange, I hereby invite you to our home. Yes, the abode of the Ia, where the traditionalists prepare for our demise. I presume your consent to answer questions is indicative of a tacit approval of our plans, in which case your cooperation is greatly appreciated. I must caution you, however, to be mindful of the Ia wandering the desert. Their desire for bodies of flesh could be described as overzealous. Now, if you'd follow me... This is going rather smoothly. Not that I'm complaining, mind. Even so, we mustn't forget their aim is oblivion, much like the dragons. I fail to see why a civilization so seemingly advanced would choose to unmake all they have created. At any rate, we'll find no answers dallying here. Let us be on our way. what the hell is that? A luminion. Luminion. This is gorgeous. Not sure, but our friend Cough. It sure looks like a shade from Nier. It looks like the shades from, well, I mean, you know, in WoW, there was a similar, I think they were called Ether somethings, actually, now that I think about it. But they were purple. Shit, what was that zone called? I can't remember the name of that zone. Oh yeah, they do look similar. Welcome to our abode. Most of our compeers, you will find, remain idle in their domiciles, though your quizzical expressions indicate my phrasing is unclear. I speak, of course, of the violet crystalline constructs hanging from the stone structures there. Those are their homes? You'd say they remain idle, but what of your work to regain corporal bodies? An astute question, and understandable, given your finite nature. Did you just call us stupid? We have no desire to pursue our research, for it is no longer necessary. No? You said you were short-lived. What was the word he used, given your finite something, right? I don't remember what word he used. We have no desire to pursue our research, for it's no longer necessary. Yeah, I know they don't have bodies. So they can't die from aging. Yep, I gathered that. So they think the best... Well, they said they could destroy themselves, but they want the experience, like the mental experience of dying with a body. Finite nature, okay. If in our idleness we are struck by sudden inspiration, we rise to pursue said inspiration to its conclusion. That is why I present for your... That is why I was present for your arrival and why I continue to engage with you still. But while the others are not currently in a mobile state, rest assured they would not object were you to disturb their respite. You need only cast your thoughts towards one of their crystalline domiciles to communicate. One second, Offspring is texting me, and she's texting me our little special thing. Like requiring assistance. Hold on one second. I'm going to be right back, guys. I just need to call my child real quick. I apologize. Thank you so much for waiting. Just to kind of give you guys a heads up. So my child and I, we have like an emergency symbol that we send each other because we're very, like, we communicate the shit out of to each other, like a lot. Like we almost over communicate, I guess would be the best way to describe it. So like, for example, today after school, she wanted to go to her friend's house. And like, she literally like texted me as she's leaving school that she's leaving school. When she got to the friend's house, she texted me, okay, I'm at my friend's house, and even took a picture to show me, you know, that she's there. I never asked her to do this stuff. This is just stuff she does on her own. And so we also have like this thing that we set up like years ago, like years and years ago, that if we're ever in danger, we send this symbol. If we're ever like, so like, for example, sometimes she'll ask me for something, but she wants me to say no. So she'll send me like a specific emote in the question. And I know that no matter what, I'm supposed to say no. And for example, like she sends me a banana peel that's supposed to be an emergency, like emergency, I need help, like drop everything right now and help me. And then, you know, like the dumpling one that looks like a pierogi or whatever, that's a say no immediately to whatever I'm about to ask you, which, you know, it's her way of saying like somebody's looking at me, asking you if I can go do something that I don't really want to do, you know. Anyway, so we have a whole bunch of them that we have. And one of them is, I'm not in danger, but I need you. Like, I'm not in danger, but I need you. So she sent me that on Discord while I was streaming, and I was like, uh-oh, like, what's up? So, you know, I had to call her real quick, and they're doing whatever their friends are doing. She doesn't want to do it, and so she just wants to come home. But it scared me because she's never used that one. That's a relatively like new one that we came up with. So, and she initially sent me the I'm in danger one. So I was like, so it's smart to have. I like it. Yeah. Well, you know, she's a girl, and there's definitely situations that she gave me a freaking heart attack for a second. But it's okay. It's all right. So I'd rather be scared and react than and find out that it's nothing than you know, her not use it and me not know she's in danger. So, but yeah, so anyway, I had to arrange real quick because my dad was going to pick her up later anyway, and just asked him to go get her a little earlier. That's all it was. So, but it definitely made my heart skip a couple beats for a second. Oh goodness. So yeah, y'all have kids. That's the system that we use. And same thing, like for me, like she knows if I ever send her the banana peel one, the banana emote, that is a you need to call me immediately emergency and like 911 me out of this situation. Example, I'm at work, I send you the banana peel, you call my work and you tell me you need me immediately. Or I'm on a date, which I don't really date right now, but if I'm on a date or something like that and I send you the banana peel, you call me and you have an emergency. Some kind of, like the babysitter left me at home alone or something. I don't care what you come up with, but something to let me nope out of whatever situation I'm in. It works for both of us. And it keeps us both safe. You cast your thoughts towards the crystalline domicile, but there is no response. But the one thing that I will say is for your children, if you have kids, if you guys develop this kind of system, to have them use it, you have to respond to it 100% of the time. If you have this system and you don't respond one time, they will never use it again because you will break their trust. Kids are very freaking finicky with that shit. Luckily, I've never missed an like, you know what I mean? Like, there's never been a time where she's used our little quote alert system and I haven't responded. As a matter of fact, I can guarantee you there's been times where she has purposely used our quote alert system to see if I would respond, or to even prove to her friends that I will, like, at the drop of a dime, I will respond to her. I'm sure she's done that several times and just never told me about it. But yeah, you're gonna use a system like that, make sure you fucking commit to it. So there's been times, 3 a.m, that she'll text me from her bedroom and it'll be one of those like little alerts, and she just wants to talk or whatever, or she thought she heard something and she's afraid to get up or something like that. You gotta be on top of that shit. You wish to speak? Very well, pray a moment if you would. I thought we were gonna have a chat, Crystal. I guess not. Is that an ethereal, like, luminescent spider over there? Why we seek our end, you ask? If you wish to know, I will tell you. Just a moment, I must remember. What form did I take when I last emerged? It is. Or like a shade spider type thing. The strange moaning comes and goes, but it soon fades into silence. Okay. Cough, I have questions. Did your inquiries yield satisfactory responses? No, like none of them really responded. They just said, hold on. If they failed to answer, then it is likely because their minds have unraveled due to prolonged idleness. They are not but concentrated ether now. Worry not. There are no others who have need of these lodgings, and they would not prove a hindrance to remain as they are. But more importantly, you said some few did answer your request for an audience, yes? I imagine they will be with us ere long. I had no luck, but everyone else fared well enough. Quite a few Ea have awakened. Or Ea. Ah, there they are. I hope there's a minion that looks like these dudes. These are so cute. May I introduce you to Lalak, Dudi, and Nani. Oh my god! It has been too long, Cough. I dare say Saturn has since completed an orbit. Indeed. Until the travelers brought it to my attention, I hadn't noticed how unraveled some had become. Travelers? Ah, of course, of course. The ones who wish to know why we seek to regain corporal forms. The truth of the matter is as plain to see as the neighboring systems, but my single account would fail to satisfy the requirement for scientific objectivity. Thus did I bid them to awaken you. Am I the only one who struggles to tell who's speaking? Nay, thou art not. In the absence of corporal forms and the divergence they afford, mayhap such similarity in voice is unavoidable. By the way, Cough, have you already observed the requisite custom for the travelers? That which one is expected to do when receiving guests, a matter of proper form. Ah, yes, so long has it been, it had completely escaped my mind, and still does. What was it again? I can't seem to remember. Neither do I. Pity. I was hoping you would. Perhaps we can search the archives for the answer. Come now, Nanig. The archives have long been frozen, lest we subject ourselves to further dollar. Surely you can recall that much. Or surely you recall that much. Of course, food. The custom is to serve food. Beings of flesh such as they must regularly replenish their ether. By contributing to their replenishment, we communicate our friendly intention. That's right, that's right! We duly invite you to join us in communal repast, after which we may engage in leisurely conversation. If we have a chance to learn something, then I see no reason to decline. Excellent. If you would care to follow, we shall feast on the... We shall feast you on the purest ether. What? We're gonna eat ether? This facility is where we replenish our ether. There's no particular name for it, but we traditionalists sometimes use the word restaurant. Now then, if you would take your place with your comrades, the space will soon be awash with purest ether. Please absorb as much as you like. Okay. All right. You brace yourself for a rush of sweet, sweet ether, but nothing seems to happen. Perhaps you need to wait a little longer. You brace yourself again. But again, nothing seems to happen. Just as I suspected, as meticulously as one might recreate the Aya's homeworld, this is Ultima Thule. One cannot simply generate ether here. As recreations, our friends are oblivious to this fact, to the very truth of their existence, much like the phantoms of the recreated Amarot. However appearances may seem, we must ever be mindful that it is the memories of the dead with whom we deal. So did you have your fill of ether? Oh yes, it was delicious. Oh, never mind, we're telling the truth, okay? Alas, we couldn't absorb it. A deficiency in our forms, it would seem. Oh, how very unfortunate. May I ask how you normally replenish your ether? No, we eat. Through your mouths, you say? How very primitive and quaint. To think that their mouths serve not only to expel sound, but draw in sustenance besides. Such life forms have long since vanquished from our system. Though we regrettably could not partake of your magnificent feast, rest assured we feel your welcome most keenly. In the course of acquainting ourselves with your sophisticated ways, however, we could not fail but wonder, wherefore do you wish to obtain vessels of flesh, and thence to vanish? Will you not favor us with an explanation? You flesh and blood beings are always so hasty. It does have its charm, however. Very well, we shall indulge you. In the beginning, when the Aya yet possessed corporal bodies, our ancestors dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge and technological advancement. By transcending all limitations, we believed we would eliminate sorrow and abide in true happiness. From the tangible, such as land, to the intangible, such as labor, there exist myriad hindrances to progress. But the most confining of all was the flesh itself. Our natural lifespan was distressingly middling, you see. Too short to enjoy the unhurried lives, yet too long to be considered disposable. Furthermore, to simply maintain the integrity of our bodies demanded considerable resources. One second, please. Sorry about that. Child walked in, and I wanted to say hi. But we managed to solve this problem. After long years, we discovered how to become non-corporal entities with everlasting lives, untroubled by the failures of the flesh. Thus changed, we had more time and freedom to continue our specific pursuit, or our scientific pursuits. We went on to make ever greater strides in our quest to transcend all limitations, until we finally decided to challenge the last of them all, the limit of knowledge. That is to say, deciphering the laws of creation. We sought to discover how the universe came into being and explain all extant phenomena and thence predict the future. So apparently, freaking Thancred and Estinien are kind of dead. Kind of. Like, not really, but sort of. Estinien turned into like a breeze or something. I'm not really sure what's going on with them. I refuse to believe that they're dead. Confound it! Yes. We sought to discover how the universe came into being and explain all extant phenomena and thence predict the future. If we could but achieve this, we believed that we would be free from uncertainty and anxiety. And did you find the answers you sought? He's like, nah. Oh, okay, never mind. Yes, we did. Our efforts revealed to us a fundamental truth. Knowledge of said truth is essential for the continuation of our conversation. If you would learn more, we will share it with you. No, we mustn't. Primitive as they are, it would be unspeakably cruel to deprive them of their ignorance. What? They're possessed of corporal forms, their lives readily ended. As those who have gone before, is it not our duty to warn them? What thinkest thou? She totally ignored you. We have deliberated and come to a consensus. If you are resolved to know it, we will disclose to you the truth we discovered, the truth of the universe. Seek us at the stone pillars just outside the bounds of the abode. A place called Elegia? I swear to God, if they tell us it's 42, I will laugh pretty hard. A fundamental truth. We will hear it, of course. Let us learn what has led such an enlightened people to this indolent end. It's not 42. I swear to God. Ere we join the Aya, there is one trifling matter I would fain investigate. Fire Grahatia, might I trouble you for your assistance? But of course. Okay, watch. It is going to be 42, isn't it? God damn it. My thanks. We shall head outside the abode if you would kindly follow me. I know not what mischief you are plotting, Urianger, but I trust you have our best interests at heart. The rest of us shall go on ahead to Elegia. Lest you worry, we won't start without you. I'm mildly concerned. This is a very, very, very confusing storyline thing that's happening. Wait. Okay, yeah, straight. Look at the colors in the sky, though, man. That looks gorgeous. All right, Urianger. Urianger. Whatever your name, Yori. Aye, this place shall serve. Is it the spring that you wished to investigate? Pray forgive me, my friends, but there is naught to investigate. 'Twas but a presence to speak in, or Jesus, 'twas but a pretense to speak in private. You have our undivided attention. As we have established, here in Ultima Thule, those denizens of ruined stars are recreated in their twilight days. Yet one question doth arise in my mind. So faithfully formed are the simulacra, they believe themselves yet amongst the living. How dost thou suppose this is possible? Meteon has taken their hearts unto herself. Meteon made contact with them while they still lived. I couldn't begin to guess. I don't know, she took their hearts unto herself? I'm inclined to agree. If Meteon can take the emotions of others as her own, I dare say she'd be able to recreate them more faithfully than had she relied on any historical account. By which logic, she must have visited them while they still lived, the dragons and the Ea both. So too did I theorize, and upon that assumption consider how those two races may have met their demise. According to thine own tale, Meteon perceiveth the emotions of those nearby as her own. A heightened sense of empathy intrinsic to her nature as an Enteleki. In the course of her starfaring journey, if she encountered beings who strongly desired a cessation of their existence, she'd be powerless before that desire. Even as she possesseth the power to grant it, the power of Dynamis. 'Tis my supposition that, overwhelmed by their longing for death, Meteon did unleash Dynamis and ushered the dragons and the Ea unto their doom. Of course, such was not always the outcome. Full many stars did she find already lost to ruin. In order to create a terminus, however, the fervent desire for the end is essential. Therefore, should you struggle to find the way forward, pray ask yourselves this. In the place where you stand, whose is the soul that yearneth most desperately for oblivion? Why do you tell us this now? Never again would I betray your trust. This pledge I did make to my comrades. In bringing thee into my confidence, I would remain true to my word. As for thee, let us consider it my fitting reward for the secrets I harbored for the Crystal Exarch. I don't like where this is going. I once placed my faith in thy chosen path, walking at thy side, full knowing that we were bound for thy demise. I ask now that thou returnest the favor, and abide in faith as I fulfill mine own destiny. God damn it. If you say my debt has come due, how am I to refuse? It's indelicate of me, I know full well, and I can but beg thy forgiveness. Yet even if I must needs go to such lengths, I cannot well feign ignorance of the answer I have found within. The answer to the question, in what moment might I stand strongest? Is everybody going to, die before we get to the end? After all that we've been through, I will say only this. Do what you must. Do what you must and see your conviction through. What a shitty fucking pep talk, Graha. I shall, my friend, I shall. I can answer that for you. Is that you'll see? Is that the answer? Without further ado, then, let us join our comrades. This is bullshit. Let us be off to Elegia. You all die and have to start from level 1. I will rage quit so fucking hard. So fucking hard. I'm not starting over. Oh, I'm not attuned. Damn. You get to keep all of your skills. You guys are the worst trolls ever. Watch, it really happens though, and I'm like, what the fuck? I would be so mad. So mad. A bitch might throw her keyboard. And I don't throw my stuff or like rage or anything like that, but a bitch might just throw her keyboard. And when I say throw, I mean like push it really hard. Because I don't want to break it. Oh man, that sky right there looks amazing. Throw the keyboard. No. No, no, no. It seems everyone is accounted for. Shall we then?
Please continue. Tell us about this truth you discovered.
Very well. Bear in mind, however, that the purpose of this conversation is not to impart scholarly knowledge, for such requires that you comprehend the subject matter, which you will not.
There they are, calling us dumb again.
We will forego the intricacies of our scientific methodology and deal only with the conclusion, the end of our society and our world. We acknowledge, with regret, that your star is in the midst of the same panic-induced cataclysm that befell Deneb 3.
Wait. Okay.
As such, in order to avoid causing undue distress, we will refrain from explicitly stating how much time you have remaining.
Can you tell us anyway, please?
You are entirely too kind. I pray you recount your tale as you see fit.
In the beginning, the universe was but a tiny particle. Then suddenly, this particle began to expand, having remained entirely in the bounds of your star. The phenomenon may be difficult for your kind to grasp, but this expansion has since continued unabated. Speculating that the universe could not grow indefinitely, we sought to learn what might occur, and made a worrying discovery. The stars will continue to spread apart, as will their finite thermal energies. Eventually, all heavenly bodies will grow cold and freeze. No new stars will be born, and the universe will enter into an eternal ice age. In hopes of proving that this determination was erroneous, we scrutinized our research from all angles, even as we sought to avert the everlasting winter.
They're basically... Okay.
The endeavor proved fruitless. So infamously so, in fact, that it became synonymous with vain effort. The universe as we know it would end. And there is no way to prevent it. Beneath the weight of this knowledge, our society stagnated. Though we had time still, it was a cold comfort. Why strive for anything when desolation is assured? When our wealth of wisdom, accumulated since the dawning of our kind, would be forever lost. No civilization would rise from our ashes. No scholar recover our knowledge. In silence unbroken, naught would stir. Intellect was once our pride. Overnight, it became our shame. Our works, monuments to futility. Immortality, our greatest invention, became a source of suffering. Rather than suffer on, many chose to unmake themselves by means of etheric exsanguinators. Etched upon these stones are the testaments of such souls. Though many left no words at all, thinking it a pointless gesture. Once we have obtained vessels of flesh, we likewise intend to vanish. If you understand this, understand aught of our tale, you will abandon your quest for knowledge. Ignorance truly is bliss. If you would cling to your illusory happiness, remain primitive and pure. It is the only way.
Great, now Y'shtola wants to die.
So that's your story. While I appreciate your advice, I will not heed it. Convinced though you may be of this truth, it is yours and not mine. Indeed, truth, I have ever believed, is in the eye of the beholder.
Are you suggesting that we have reached a faulty conclusion? That our science failed us?
Oh, the music.
Hardly. As you yourself said, the subject matter is beyond my comprehension.
Petty.
And that, I accept, is true. I do not possess the knowledge to prove or disprove your conclusion. In my mortal years, I doubt I could even approach the wisdom of the air. But of one thing am I absolutely certain. I would not be happier in ignorance.
Y'shtola, no! You mustn't!
God damn it.
The most important lesson I've learned is that learning isn't simply passing one's eyes over words. Nay, it is when understood for oneself that knowledge attains its true value. This is what has sustained me, driven me onward in joy and wonder, in anger and sorrow. The universe may end, and all may be for naught, but I will live as I always have.
Yes, girl.
I will always seek out new knowledge, and no conclusion of yours, no matter how grim, can dampen my desire.
For a minute there, I got worried.
I suppose it is only to be expected. Their feeble minds cannot fathom the terrifying gravity of it all. But worry not. We consider it our duty to enlighten you, And we will not stop until you grasp the full extent of our despair.
Keep calm and listen well. Though my body will soon dissipate, there may be a way to restore it. Ashen's magic. So long as our souls remain, you can use it to summon us back. But you mustn't, for it would mean losing our way forward. This I only reveal so that you can promise not to invoke the magic. We came here knowing what victory may cost, so press on. Press on, and do not look back.
I shall join thee. As subterfuge is not required, thou shalt not suffer for mine absence.
Urianger.
My resolve hath never been as strong as thine. Full oft have I wavered in my decisions, and afterwards been stricken with regret. In spite of this, I may still stand with my comrades, supporting them as they attempt the greatest of feats. This truth I have learned in the course of our journey. And many though my shortcomings may be, I may also claim to excel in prophecies. My studies, into which have granted me the flexibility of mind needed to bend this malleable reality. Thus shall I hope that thou mayest have the strength to resist, and our comrades the strength to continue.
With you to urge us on, how could we possibly fail?
What's this? An extinguished civilization. Rekindled.
That's right. Our quest doesn't end here. We'll press on, and we will find you.
There. That's where you'll find me.
Is that another star?
Of the stars we visited, most were already devoid of life. And where there was life still, the inhabitants wished for death. But even death, we learned, isn't truly the end. It is but a part of the cycle of rebirth. Souls return to the star, or in its absence, a larger flow. And eventually they are reborn. Alive again, to know suffering anew. True salvation lies not in dying. It lies in not being born. This is the gift I would give to you. To all life on beautiful Etheris. To that end, we created an egg wherein life cannot quicken. That dead sun. Attain it if you can, before your friend's emotions fade away, along with their protection.
Okay. Okay. I swear to God, if we can't bring them back, I'm gonna lose my shit. Are you all ready to continue on? Not really. Let us make for where that light shone. Y'shtola and Urianger have opened the way for us. We're gonna bring them back. I have faith. I have faith. I only have 3 people left with me now. The twins and Graha. Like, I can't really afford to keep opening other doorways with any more people. I'm running out of people. Urianger pulled a dick move. He should have, like, saved himself for the next one. This is crazy. The only reason I'm okay so far is because I truly believe that they're not gone for good. Yes, I can feel it. The ether emanating from the arcane pattern. This is the portal and no mistake. Let us see where it leads. Where am I? Level trigger? What the fuck? Finally, I get to fight something and take out my anger for a second. Oh shit. Ooh, I'm lagging pretty hard. Ooh, I forgot to change instances back when we were at the Aetherites. That's alright, this is fine. I love this area, do you? It reminds me of the, not the Alexander stuff. What the hell was it? The stuff with Alpha. Weren't those the same type of mobs in there? That was the Alpha Delta stuff, right? Omega raids, yeah, that's it. Amazing. Yet another civilization. Attacked as soon as you arrived. Not the most welcoming of places, is it? We must try to find denizens who are amenable to conversation. We should also get the lay of the land, see how far we can go. I'll help Alpha know with that. In the meantime, you and Graha can search for friendlier folk. Since where Graha's gonna tell us about how he feels guilty and he's ready to go. Apart from hostile beings, take care with your footing. I mislike the look of this terrain. Not knowing what the locals are like, you'd best take care of yourselves. We'll find you once we've finished exploring. I expect the twins will seek the outermost bounds of the Isle, so I propose we search the central area. There are machines patrolling here and there, sentinels in all likelihood. Like those you encountered, they will most certainly attack any who venture too close. So let us avoid them and look for others that appear more approachable. I went so far. so far. You see naught but patrolling machines in the area. They do not seem inclined to non-violent intercourse. They're not inclined for non-violent intercourse. Okay. Ooh, an ether current. Interesting. An ether current on a planet devoid of ether. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm going this way. Yeah. Oh, that's a neat looking ether thing. Etherite. This person has the Argus mount. I want the Argus mount. Alright, Graha. What information did you glean? Look, Fire, the machines here do not appear hostile. Let's see if we can communicate with them. Begging your pardon, but we are searching for the denizens of the star. Unknown life forms detected. Assigning generic label. Interplanetary travelers. Greetings and welcome to the planet. Blip bloop. The planet? What? Could you please repeat that? It appears your hearing organ is unable to process the name in our tongue. It may be translated into yours as Alphatron. Our people, meanwhile, are called the Omnicrons, and you stand within one of our outposts. The Omnicrons, you say? And what is it that you do here? We are preparing for war. Great. As we presently do not have a designated target, you have nothing to fear. Should your star become designated, however, you will be taken into custody and or terminated. Not a little frightening, these Omnicrons, but at least they seem to be forthright. I will see what else I can learn from this fellow. If you could try and speak with the others. Don't worry, we're not currently at war with your people, but should we come to war with your people, you will be detained and ultimately destroyed. Cool. Blip bloop. Autonomous weapon deployment complete. Vanguard armament upgrade complete. Munition levels satisfactory. Combat readiness assessment nominal. Awaiting instructions from Sir. Maintaining state of combat readiness. Measuring combat capability. Result negligible. Subject falls outside targeting parameters. Greetings, traveler. We are the Omnicrons, and our objective is self-enhancement. In order to achieve this, we venture forth in conquest to acquire combat data and resources. Most recently, we succeeded in subjugating the home world of the beings whose strength was said to be without parallel. The dragon. So these are the machines that took over the dragon's planet. Yet, though the endeavor yielded a wealth of combat data, the star was rendered barren and unable to yield resources. A subsequent costing determined that the losses incurred exceeded the gains. Greetings, traveler. When venturing outside the outpost, beware malfunctioning units. They do not heed Sir's commands and indiscriminately attack all non-Omnicrons. For the avoidance of confusion, be advised that Sir is the alias of Stigma 1. Sir issues instructions to our forces as the foremost of the 6 strategic matrices that bear the designation Stigma. Yo, Graha, These people destroyed the dragons. You learned a few things, so did I. Ere we share our findings, however, I believe it best to step outside the outpost. Come with me. I was just warned not to go outside the outpost. Oh, there you are. We finished surveying the area. This will come as no surprise, but there was no way forward. There were portals like the one we used to get here, but those that worked only sent us to isolated isles. Then, as before, we must locate the embodiment of the emotion that bars the way. What of yourselves? Did you find anyone to speak with? Excuse me. So the Omnicrons seek to advance themselves through conquest. Following their victory over the dragons, they stand ready for the next campaign. But their leader has yet to issue new commands, and so they wait. In such a place, who could it be that fits Urianger's description? A soul whose yearning for oblivion surpasses all others. Urianger said this? During our investigation before we joined you in Elegia. So that's the way of it. Why couldn't he just say it to all of us? Given what we know of this place, it's certainly a curious state of affairs. While the dragons and the Aya longed for death, the Omnicrons long for conflict. As much as they may lead to destruction, it must be considered a distinct desire. In order to find the source of the dominant emotion, I believe we should seek out their leader, this Sir. According to MO32, the first Omnicron with whom we spoke, there is a console by which we might communicate with it. MO32 also decided that it would be a pointless exercise, but that in itself, I believe, is worth investigating. What say you? He's ready to set forth. So the console we seek lies on the far side of the isle. Given the nature of the ground, the route may not be entirely direct as it seems. Let us all watch our steps as we make our way. Oh my goodness, it's like a maze. Well, not really. A little maze. Don't see me, don't see me. Mob that just spawned next to me. God damn it. Gosh darn it. Boom did. I'm gonna grab that lookout thing too real quick. And this ether current over here in just a second. And where was it? It was right over here. It was over there, right? Yep, there it is. Okay. Sweet. Sweet. Excuse me, pardon me. did click it. Okay. I clicked it too soon. No. You don't see me. Okay, never mind. This appears to be the console. But it seems unresponsive. Would you care to take a look at it? Oh my god, I'm just gonna kill this mob because my chocobo is being a butthole and won't leave it alone. Okay, Dunskies. Let's see what we could do about this console here. You try touching, smacking, and attuning with the console, but there is no response. No luck, I see. But there must be a way to activate it. There must.
Well, I'm out of ideas.
As am I. Operating such consoles is trying enough. But if we can't even activate it?
Perhaps there is a way. First, consider the world that has been recreated here.
Are we gonna lose Graha here?
Its inhabitants were machines who gathered combat data to enhance themselves. And among the many wars they waged, the most notable was that against the dragons. As you've doubtless surmised, I believe this was the homeworld of Omega. Sid built a jamming device to defeat it, a device which generated massive bursts of lightning, its sole weakness.
That's all well and good, but what does that... Wait. You're not thinking to strike the console with lightning, are you?
Why not?
As a matter of fact, I am. Ask yourselves this. Why would an entity as puissant as Omega not be designed to suppress the effects of lightning?
Because it relies upon it, or something akin to it, as a source of energy.
My thoughts exactly. And there is a good chance the same is true of the Omicrons and their devices. So, shall I cast caution to the wind and try something reckless and dramatic?
Have at it.
Very well. Here I go.
Jesus.
It worked.
He's like, son of a bitch.
Open information to communications module 1. Connection established. Transmission. Strategic Matrix Signal 1 now online. As the primary strategic matrix, you may investigate as Sir. Checking for new communications. None found. All units, please maintain current state. End transmission.
Damn it.
Wait! We have questions for you. Of late, no mission orders have been issued. Why not? Has there been some manner of trouble?
Reply. The Extended Operations Unit is yet to determine guidelines for future assignments. All strategies are calculated, devised, and actioned in accordance with said guidelines. In the interim, all citizens are directed to maintain a state of combat readiness. Enter now. Awaiting query.
Can you tell us why the Extended Operations Unit hasn't yet determined the guidelines?
Unable to comply. Information unavailable or access restricted.
Okay.
In that case, is it possible for us to communicate directly with the unit?
Access denied. Unable to establish connection.
Is there anything you can tell us? Have there been any abnormalities, like a threat to the star or widespread unrest?
Reply. Negative. All citizens continue to operate at maximum efficiency. If your operations are suboptimal, please proceed to a maintenance facility for evaluation. Otherwise, stand by to your designated post. End reply. End transmission. Closing connection.
I don't understand why they're here then.
I could activate it again, but I doubt it would be productive. What do you think?
If all the Omicrons really were running as efficiently as it claimed, then I doubt they were hoping for life here to end. As this Sir told us, there just haven't been any new instructions, and everyone is standing by.
Big eyeball, yeah, giant eyeball.
Should be standing by at any rate. If there are those that are neglecting their duties, perhaps we can glean a clue from them.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, they're machines.
Look around, and also try to find the operations unit.
I'm sure I'm going to get my answer, though, shortly. Let us focus our search on the outpost. Alice and I will try speaking with the Omnicrons this time in the hopes we might learn something new. Meanwhile, perhaps you and Graha could observe them from a distance. Those beings are systemic and routine by nature. If there are any that aren't, it shouldn't be too difficult to spot them. If there are no questions, then let us begin at once. I have questions, but the opportunity to ask them is not given to me. As we came this way, I believe I spied a promising vantage point. Follow me. Are there any of these thingies nearby? There is one north. Dare it be? I'm gonna go grab it since I'm like right next to it. That way I don't have to run around later. Gosh darn it. That was a neat power down noise that it had. 109 Northwest. I mean, that's like right over here. I don't think I could get to it without aggroing at least one of these. Oh gosh, darn it. There's another one right there. Can I scooch in right here? Oh, look at that. Alright, I'm not going to go after the other one because it's further down. It's more down, but oh, actually I am going that way. I am going that way. Excuse me. To 11 to the east. Okay. Search base Omnicron for errant Omnicrons. You may move. Oh, it's one of these like the dark quests. Okay. I have to find an Omnicron that's behaving suspiciously. Not to suggest suspicious behavior. Ceaselessly as if lacking a clear objective. That one's acting sus AF. Fuckery is afoot music. An Omnicron wandering aimlessly? Wait. Aha, I see it. Did it just scratch its head? It's left the base. Let's follow it. I'm gonna go grab this ether current real quick though. First. Nope, you don't see me, bud. Oh, right there in the end. Okay, I see it. Jesus, okay. 1,000 to the north. Okay, we're not going for that one right now. That one's like way up there. It's not here, but it definitely came this way. It must have used the portal. Time to go through and see what we find. Oh, goody! I bet you it's like right here now. 934 to the... Oh, it's even higher than that. It's like over there by the Lost Hydraulic. Yeah, it's gotta be way over there. Okay. Okay. We get it later. I'm like, eh? What is your query? Oh, you found it. Of course I did, Graha. What are you doing here? I am looking at the tree. Quite an unusual specimen. What is the device attached to it? The tree is a sample collected from another star. As it cannot survive in our environment, however, it requires life support. That is the function of the device. To go to such lengths to sustain it, is there something special about this tree? Being foreign matter, protocol requires that we study it. As this task has been completed, the specimen may be discarded. But you just can't discard it, can you? However, when I behold the tree, I am made to feel as though there is a problem. In order to become strong, we have continued to enhance ourselves, like we did countless others. We conquered the star whence this tree came. It is the last remnant of a dead world, and there is nothing towards which it may aspire, yet it grows, extends its branches, sprouts leaves, produces seeds. Why does it seek to continue? Why was it made to behave in such a way, and to what end? I do not understand. I see. Out of curiosity, does this pertain to your duty? No, it does not. My apologies. I shall return to my designated post and assume a state of combat readiness. So it was acting outside of orders. Perhaps it is simply a malfunctioning Omnicron. These are by no means uncommon. But it may also be a unit possessed of the ability to make decisions, one not unlike Sir. I believe this bears further investigation. Is there a floor that you could put in your apartment or house that looks like this? I like the honeycomb tiling like that. To endeavor to live even if we must depend on forces beyond our control. Tell me, Fire. One day, when this adventure becomes a part of your oh my god. Is this where Graha's like, alright, it's my turn. Good luck, guys. Do you think I will be mentioned in it? Of course, why wouldn't you be? You truly think so? That would be a... Nay, I shouldn't say such things until the moment comes to pass. Never mind the embarrassment. Well, we had best get on with our task. Tracking down Sir and understanding the nature of the emotion which bars our way. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch! Graha's next, isn't he? Isn't he? For real, don't tell me. But goddammit. He's ready to take the next step. Jesus Christ. We should return to the outpost for now. The others will wish to hear about the errant Omnicron. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Alice, I need to tell you about Graha. I suspect that he's gonna give up next. Graha says you found a suspicious Omnicron. Oh wait, Omicron. Where did I get the N from? Omicron. That's good because the units were of no help. They all had the same thing to say about the extended operations unit, that there's no way to arrange a direct meeting. Still, that served to prove that it's business as usual at this outpost. But enough about us. Tell me what you learned. Tell me that you learned something more useful. Well, girl. An Omicron trying to make sense of the meaning of life. None of the others were even a fraction as philosophical. This unit may well be in a position of leadership. Perhaps even one of those that comprise Sir. As we know, the Omicrons invade other stars and enhance themselves using the spoils of conquest. With the technology at their disposal, they should be able to alter their bodies, be it in part or in whole. Hey, I'm here and playing Breath of the Wild. Hey, Excalibur, how are you doing? Happy Friday! 3 hours and I'm finally back in. Oh my god, what was the queue when you started? Setting aside the question of motive, if Sir, for example, wished to have an ordinary Omicron's body, I see no reason why it would not be possible. The problem is how to go about ascertaining if that's what's happened. 2,800? Holy shit! And it was 3 hours? Damn. 2,800 isn't bad, but 3 hours, like, Jesus. Buck said earlier that there was something like 8,000 in the queue, I think. When I attempted to probe further, it promptly ended the conversation. If it is indeed Sir, I doubt it would willingly reveal its true identity. Don't log out anytime soon. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I have an idea. We use lightning on the console again, but we make it stronger. Much stronger. At that moment, should the unit exhibit a reaction, that could suggest that it has a connection to Sir. An inspired idea. I dare say it is worth a try. I had a feeling you'd be on board. This time, you must allow me to do the honors. I'll stand guard in case your incantation draws sentries to the scene. For my part, then, I will approach our suspect and divert its attention. During which time, Fire, I want you to observe it closely for anomalous behavior. I should mention that, shortly before you returned, an Omicron appeared from the same direction. Rather than entering the outpost, however, it headed off towards the console. At first, I assumed it was a unit on patrol, but perhaps... That could only be our errant Omicron. We must seek it out and begin our operation at once. Alright, Alphino and I will stand by at the console, and when it's time, I'll unleash a veritable storm. Don't you start freaking being all moody and deciding to die. This will work, I'm sure of it. After all, our comrades are watching over us. Come, my friend, let us find this doubt-plagued Omicron. Back down there. Nope, nope, nope. I am busy, Delta. Did it leave me alone? Okay, it did. You are the one that was observing the tree, are you not? Well, glad I am to find you again. I have a question for you, UC, about the device which sustains the tree. Provided it does not necessitate the disclosure of restricted information. Very well. Graha has begun distracting the Omicron. Soon Alisei will strike the console with lightning. Observe M017 closely for anomalous behavior after Alisei has cast her spell. You may move the camera, blah, blah, blah. Got it. It's like an anomaly. That was an easy one. An anomaly, you say? Performing diagnostic. Error confirmed. My connection to the central command is suffering from intermittent failures. I must leave at once and present myself for maintenance at the nearest facility. You will excuse me. Nah. What you need, my friend, isn't maintenance. It's to confront the truth. While we spoke, our comrades struck the console used to communicate with Sir. That is the cause of your anomaly. You are connected to Sir, aren't you? Is it looking at us or not? Affirmative. To what end you sought to assert this fact, I do not know. But before we speak further, we must move away from the other units. I do not wish for them to know my true identity. Very well. Our friends are at the console. Let us head there. Am I running the wrong way? Of course I am. I was reading the chat.
As you have surmised, I am part of the shared intelligence of Stigma 1. It was my charge to determine the optimal path to achieving my prime function. His body had been abandoned by its former owner and lay unused. I took it and abandoned my own, and with it, my duty.
But why?
May we ask why you did this? From what we gather, it seems to be a personal matter.
Our kind did not always look as we do now. Long ago, we possessed frail and feeble bodies. Beleaguered by stronger races, our ancestors took to augmenting their flesh in order to defend themselves. What began with limited parts eventually spread to the whole body, and at last, a means was discovered to convert the mind into data, rendering even the brain obsolete. Such complete mechanical beings were called the Omicrons, and by their might, we came to reign supreme over the star. But even then, we did not feel secure. For we knew that the universe was home to civilizations aside from our own. Civilizations that may be stronger still than us.
So?
Rather than risk becoming the subjugated, we chose to become the subjugator. We began our conquest of the stars, that we might acquire the resources and knowledge we needed to reign supreme.
But why?
We were successful in that endeavor. So powerful did we become, we could lay low even the mighty dragons. But then something unexpected happened. I began experiencing an error. I could no longer determine an optimal path.
You were malfunctioning.
I performed numerous full system scans, each time finding no issues. Yet the error persisted. It was then that I speculated. What could happen if we grew so powerful as to have no equal?
You have no purpose, I guess?
To become stronger was essential essential to our existence. Our every action has been in service to this objective. But if nothing lies beyond this, can it be truly said that it was essential? Have we been engaging only in wanton destruction?
You could find no threat to justify your purpose.
The Omicrons will never leave this star. They will stand by until their reserves of energy is spent. For I have no path to offer them. None.
It is not our place to pass judgment on the deeds of the Omicrons. But surely, this does not have to spell the end of your people. With your power and knowledge, the possibilities are endless. Why not seek out a new purpose?
That is impossible.
Why is it impossible?
In the beginning, we had a higher purpose than our pursuit of power. But we lost sight of it when we so irrevocably altered our fundamental forms. When we cast aside our flesh, so too did we cast aside all that defined us. Nothing remains of whom we once were. I have no aspirations. No longer can I dream. The vital spark is lost. Lost amidst circuitry and code and commands.
I believe I know.
Oh no! Oh no! Let's hope I get back in real quick. I don't think I'm gonna get back in real quick. What's a 9006 error? Yeah, I can't even connect to the data center. Oh no. I just got DC'd too. Okay. So maybe it's just a entire Final Fantasy thing. I'm gonna try and log back in. You got booted? Yeah, I sure did. While in a cutscene. Oh no! I knew you should have started earlier. Well, we'll see what happens here in a moment. Oh, didn't get that job. Oh no! They called you and told you that it's a no-go? Oh, this is bad. It won't even show me my character. 6,000. 5,500 in queue. This is mega unfortunate. And it took Quicken 3 hours with 2,800 to get back in. They said that if I didn't hear anything by 5 p.m., then I wasn't going to hear anything. Oh, that's a bummer. Damn, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, shit. It is what it is. Yep, it is what it is. Unfortunately, yep, it is what it is. This is actually an opportune time for me to go take a break real quick. I doubt that I'm gonna get in really anytime soon, but I figure maybe all these other 5,000 people got kicked at the same time too. So maybe, you know, see you tomorrow for the finish. Yeah, this sucks. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm not even, because I'm sure I'm gonna get 2002 errors and all that stuff too. Shit. Oh, that's mildly annoying. Oh well, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. So Let's see if I can find anybody. Oh, let's go raid Lindy. We're gonna raid Lindy. That way you guys... They're playing Hollow Knight.
Hey! Listen!
No, you listen. So, I guess we'll just stream tomorrow, even though I was hoping I wouldn't have to. But that's okay. We'll just stream tomorrow. I don't know what time yet. I will figure it out, and then I will send out like something on Twitter and on Discord. Probably, I'm thinking probably like 3 o'clock-ish, maybe 4 o'clock-ish, somewhere around there. Only 3 hours or so left for reals. As in like how long it takes. Like I want to be at the end right now. So, all right, we're gonna raid Lindy Games. She's playing Hollow Knight. I'm so sorry, guys. I obviously had no intention of this happening, but it did, and we're gonna be stuck in this queue for hours. So, it do be what it do be. So, and thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Hopefully, I'll be able to get back in just so I could do some other stuff in game. But otherwise, I'll just see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.